G'day guys, Todd Hobson here in lovely Pittsburgh, Indiana, in the Wingo Bros race shop with the Australian Racing camp all behind us. This is going to be my Q&A video. I said I was going to put it out. Before I get there though, I wanted to say something about the big award I won, or 2 awards I should say. I won the Australian Modified Driver of the Year, which is pretty cool. That's across V8 Dirt Modifieds, Mod Lights, Anchors, all of them, so that's pretty neat. And I also won the prestigious, which is like the top level one across the whole board, the Australian Sportsperson of the Year. Well, that's pretty crazy to think. I mean, I just race cars, that's all I do. I don't ask for anything in return other than, like, I just want to win races. That's like what we do. All this stuff I do here, I do it because I enjoy watching other people do it, so that's pretty cool. I'll add a little video at the end with my thank you speech as well. That I sent in to them. It's pretty cool backdrop. Alright, Q&A, let's get started. I'm going to go off Instagram first, because I did this on 3 platforms. If you could race any other car, what would it be? As people know, these are my soft spot. But in all honesty, Silver Crown, pavement and dirt. One of my big bucket list things is to run a Silver Crown car on a mile. There's nothing, I've never seen this in person, a Silver Crown at a mile, but I don't think there's anything that beats them ripping down that straight, especially with the old fairgrounds grandstand. So the echo is just chilling, like, it gives you goosebumps. And there's some grace about a Silver Crown car that you really can't describe. To answer your question, definitely a Silver Crown. Late models look pretty cool too, but the only time I run a late model is probably over here. Even a modified, as I say, I race anything. I miss you, dear. Yes, I do, Dylan.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
It's alright, we'll go to the pub when I get back. Favourite track so far? Kokomo Speedway, no doubt. Start the track on Wednesday, as I said, so that track is Mickey Mouse, like every time we've been there. How much rain they had, the track was actually sort of, like, it didn't develop like a wet track would. Like, they obviously put so much effort in to keep the water out, and they probably went a little far. I'm not a track prep person. They know what they're doing, the O'Connors at Kokomo. Trust me, they've been doing it as long as I can remember. Kokomo's cool because qualifying the other night, even though I didn't time too well because I screwed up the right front shock right here. I had it way too easy up, and I just wanted the wheelie. Like, the thing was still turning hard. Like, the motor just screams like it wants you to quit, like a wing motor. That's what I said the first time I drove a wing car. Like, this motor wants to quit. Like, it's screaming so hard, but that's what they made to do. When your lows there, like your low revs, often you have a high revs at like 85, 86 with this motor, or 85 if I go any higher, Tyler doesn't like it. Lows usually in non-wings are like 4-ish, maybe 5.5 for the good ones. Like, we're doing 5.5, 6 with this thing here, Kokomo, because you're just on it. Like, I can't describe it, and the amount of speed you carry getting into 3s is insane. With the left rear in there a couple of times. Alright, let's go to the next one. Other than the engine, what's the biggest difference between Yankee and Aussie non-wing sprint cars? Obviously the engine is the biggest difference. The best thing I can describe it is the weight of that engine. The horsepower in a way. The hardest thing I've had to adapt to, which I've sort of actually picked it up okay, is getting the weight on the nose again, because you've got such a light front end and so much horsepower. As you can see, wheelie, you have to get the, like, even down the straight, you sort of drive them till the shocks top out, and then you've got to get all that weight back on the nose, because if you drive all the way on the back tyres, that's the maximum traction you're going to get, because all the weight's on the back between the 2 tyres, not between 4 tyres. Just a bit of weight distribution, dynamic weight distribution. Ride heights are all different, the bird cages are different, but a lot of them run the V6 ones, I run the non-wing spec ones. Probably the biggest difference would be ride height and where you run your spacing. You run your spacing at like 21. This is where at home I'd start my wingless at 18.5 and run more wheel offset, so you can actually get them tighter than these. Traction roll into the car park. Also, obviously you're allowed cockpit adjusters and all that jazz. We're not allowed that back home. Fields like crap. You're not going to get many slouches at any races. Like, you're never going to get an easy night. I don't care if you're on local, USAC, MSCS, Extreme. I've never run Extreme, but like even they look tough. Every night looks tough. How much longer are you in Indy? Not long enough. Thanks Thomas for that. Thanks for reminding me I'm going soon. We August 4th, so August 3rd, so pretty much just before the BC39 I leave, because they announce the BC39 after I book my tickets. So I would love to stay and watch that, but yeah, Uncle Sam won't like me staying here too much longer than that. What's Lloyd's favourite thing to eat in the USA? Ice cream. He loves ice cream. So we went to the dairy bar. Dairy bar is a local ice cream parlour, or whatever you want to call it, ice cream stand up the road at Lisbon, which is about 3 or 4 miles that way. Heavy. How's Spotto going? Okay, so I'm going to explain the game of Spotto. I've been playing a little bit, Kevy, but haven't been taking any photos to show you. Spotto, for anyone asking, at every racetrack there's always someone in overalls. Like, I'll put a picture here from our Spotto group. Always someone in overalls, and Chili Bowl was just off its head. Seth, tomato. It's not a tomato, it's a tomato. I don't know why, that's just how it is. It's also another pet peeve of mine. It's Parmesan, not Parmesan. Where's the H, where's the I? Oregano. Italians pronounce it oregano.
Mamma mia, Marcello, that's not how you use a tank!
So, oregano. I said that to a lady at Subway and she looked at me like I was speaking German. Australian.
Your transponder down to the bottom bar where it belongs before they push you out.
It's reading though, isn't it? It's reading okay. It's reading. We're going to go a couple out on Facebook. I'll rack off. Buddy, Isaac, thank you for this question. What's harder to win a feature with, USAC or BPM? BPM. Still haven't got my Zinger box. What's the best prize money I've won in the States so far? Okay, so this one's a funny story. I don't remember who asked that one, sorry, it didn't come up. Best prize money I got was, I think we got $600 for coming 5th at the Huntley Memorial. If that wasn't the kicker, the best thing I got was, I got a hard charger, and the envelope looked really thick. I went, hell yeah, what's in here? I went, it's maybe $200 something, you know, like, open it up, it's nearly $100 in dollar bills. Zach on YouTube's giving me a lot. Give a follow on old Zach's channel. He's trying to get quarter midget, show how his quarter midget racing is, and you know, we need young fellas like that stepping up and doing all this stuff, you know. Really cool to see his perspective on the deal. A heap of questions, oh my god. Okay, we got to pick a couple, Zach, sorry. What's the biggest thing I've had to learn about driving 410 non-wings? Okay, so the biggest thing I've had to learn is the tracks of all things. Obviously the horsepower and all that, but at the end of the day, it's just a race car. And they're very hard race cars. First thing has been the tracks. They change so quick, and you've got to be on the ball before someone else finds it. So we can't just sit on the bottom like at home. Like, you sit on the bottom and think, oh, the track's not doing anything. It's just, this is how it's going to be, you know? In America, you start on the bottom, you end up on the top, and then you could all end up on the bottom again. That happened to me a few times, especially if they prep it before the race. Doesn't last long. Just because the wheel speed of these cars is so much, they move the dirt so quickly. What's your favourite thing about American Speedway that Australia doesn't have? It has simplicity. We're sitting here Saturday morning and there's 3 tracks you can go to. It doesn't matter which one we show up at because we didn't have to nominate a week in advance. I understand why Australian tracks need to do that. Okay, so the American process of showing up to a racetrack. So you leave, you don't have to leave at the crack of dawn to make a scrutineering time or any of that because they don't even tech the cars, which I understand you have to sometimes. We leave to go like a race maybe an hour away. We leave at like 2 or 3 o'clock. Get there, unload your car, I'll walk over to the registration hut, register my car, I give him my driver's license so I can take that in terms so I don't take the transponder home. They give me my transponder, have a good night. Then we race all night, all that, cool. At the end of the night, get my paycheck and leave. Every night's the same. You have to get the license, you have to get a registration, then you have to pre-register every race a week in advance. If you don't, you get penalised. Some do, some don't. You get there like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, try to get a decent spot because everyone thinks you have to race to the racetrack. See, with my stuff, I never really show up. I try to show up at 2:30 at every racetrack, even later if I'm all ready. Race, then you have to wait for all your logbooks. They don't have logbooks either. Too much. This is just over-regulated at home. Let's just say that. Alright, thanks for all your questions, Zach. I appreciate that. Alright, thanks everyone for your questions. There wasn't a lot on YouTube, but Zach filled it in a bit there. Probably have this edited out before we run Bloomington Friday. My last race, hopefully, until we can rack a couple off for sprint week. I don't know how many we're going to do. We're going to do them with Tyler. Then, yeah, have to get on the big bird home and figure out what we're going to do this year. I haven't really done anything in terms of racing this year in our deal. we'll figure it out when I get home, I guess.
Hey guys, once again, fortunately cannot make the Speedway Australia Awards night. Racing 410 Nomings here in Indiana. We're at Bloomington Speedway tonight. Better bring the jacket, it's a nice 30 degrees Celsius. I was a bit shocked when I got the phone call from Darren that I received the award. I don't race for really awards other than race wins. I just do a lot of it because I enjoy racing cars. First off, I'd just like to thank my family, my dad. He's sacrificed pretty much every weekend for the last 2 or 3 years going racing and all the categories I've raced with. I'd just like to thank my mum Susan and my sister Ebony. They're here tonight getting the award on behalf of me. They pretty much, Ebony does all the stickers for my cars, Mum, she does whatever in the race shop and running around getting parts, laundry. I'll be struggling without me mum. Just like to thank all my friends as well. Like, I'm only just myself pretty much doing a lot of my car, but my mates help me out a lot free of charge pretty much. So I owe them something for that, and yeah, that's definitely dedicated to them as well. Also, with the bigger picture, Speedway doesn't really happen without volunteers, so I'd like to thank all the volunteers who run all the racetracks, all the associations I race with. I race 3 categories: wingless, dirt modified, and sprint cars. So massive thanks to all them, and I hope everyone has a good night.
Also, I forgot to add at the end, this is my, this was how my studio was set up. Had the old GoPro sitting on the hoist arm. I better put it back, otherwise I'll get upset with me. Oh.